Let's continue on with section 2.7 here. We're going to take a look at a short exploration where we analyze the median and mean, okay, the median and mean to determine, to make a comparison between what happens to the mean and mean under various types of distribution. The main distributions that you identify are skewed left, skewed right, symmetric, and based on those distributions, right, we can calculate the means and means, of course, and then we want to compare them to see what conclusion. So I've already entered this data into the ofstatin. So here's the data from the three groups. The means and medians have been calculated for us. And so you can see the distribution in group 1 is skewed left, group 2 skewed right, group 3 symmetric. And then compare these mean values and medians. And so we can draw a conclusion if you look carefully. In the symmetric version here, you see that the mean is 3 and the median is 3. So many times when the graphs or data are symmetric, the mean and median are equal to each other. And so we would use the mean as our measure of center. And so what we really care about is which measure do we use? It depends on distributions. And then notice that the mean is smaller than the median when it's skewed left. We have kind of these outliers here. And it's the outlier pulls the mean over, right? The mean was 3 if it was symmetric, and then it goes towards the outlier. And then in this case here, where are we looking at? Group 2. Group 2, what are we looking at? Oh yeah, group 2 here, you can then see a skewed right distribution here. Okay, a skewed right distribution. And with this skewed right distribution, the median is 2, the mean is 2.7, so it's actually greater than the median in this case because this outlier is pulling the mean towards it because the mean is sensitive to outliers. And so there's this interplay between those, there's an interplay between those values, and that's what we're trying to look at. If you look carefully, the mean is greater than the median when it's skewed right. The median is greater than the mean when it's skewed left, or the mean is less than, and symmetric are going to be about equal. And that's what gets summarized here, because it becomes important to determine which measures do we use under what conditions, right? And so how do skewed distributions, outliers, affect our measure of centers and spread? So when you're skewed right or skewed left, there's our conclusion that I had shown you with the picture there. And so the other thing is when the data is skewed, we want to use IQR, interquartile ranges, and medians to describe spreads. A range is affected by outliers, so you don't want to use range. The standard deviation is affected by skewed or outliers, so you use the IQR, or we're going to use the IQR in that case here, and the mean is affected also under those distributions. So in these cases here, we then see when it's unimodal or symmetric, we use the mean and standard deviation. When it's skewed, use median and IQR for your spreads when we're doing our statistics. And then the last example is looking at the data, which measures would we use? Symmetric, so center is your mean, your spread is standard deviation. These are skewed here, so you're going to use median and IQR. And then you have gaps, and this is with outliers. And so in this case, you're going to use median IQR to describe the data. That's what we would do.